10 lines on World Heart Day for student and children in English. Set 1. 10 lines on World Heart Day for kids. Set 1 is helpful for students of classes 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Number 1. International Heart Day is celebrated on September 29 each year. Number 2. World Heart Day was observed for the first time in 2000. Number 3. It is a part of an international campaign to spread awareness about heart disease. Number 4. In 2012, leaders all over the world decided to decrease the disease by 25% by 2025. Number 5. World Heart Day is a perfect platform for the battle against cardiovascular disease. Number 6. Both government and non-governmental organizations take part in World Heart Day. Number 7. On this day, some famous buildings, landmarks, and monuments go red so that they can support this awareness. Number 8. A healthy diet, no smoking, and quitting alcohol and physical exercise are necessary steps to save your heart. Number 9. You always don't need to arrange a great event for awareness. You can gather your friends and family and can host Newman and can educate them on the issue. Number 10. A particular theme is determined every year to gain attention and to make it successful. Set 2. 10 lines on World Heart Day for school children. Set 2 is helpful for students of classes 6, 7 and 8. Number 1. It was first established in 2000. Until 2010, it was celebrated on the last Sunday of September. After 2011, it was started celebrating early on September 29. Number 2. All the awareness programs have partnerships with WHO, which is a directing authority for health. Number 3. It is not a public holiday but a global observation. It can be observed at any place by anyone. Number 4. Its primary aim is to educate people by controlling risk factors such as a healthy diet, tobacco use, for which 80% of premature death from heart disease could be avoided. Number 5. COVID-19 pandemic showed a spotlight on the health of the national healthcare system and power upon individuals. Number 6. You don't know how much time that pandemic will occur, but we can take care of a heart for long-term survival. Number 7. In the time of COVID-19, cardiovascular disease patients faced a double-edged threat. They have a high risk of infection from viruses. Most of the patients of COVID-19 have heart disease, as heart disease reduces our immune system. Number 8. If you have any heart diseases like heart stroke or anything, they don't ruin your regular check-out, check-off due to COVID-19. Number 9. The theme of World Heart Day 2020 is to use the heart to beat cardiovascular diseases because it is the number 1 cause of death on the earth. Number 10. Coronary artery disease is identified as the most usual type of heart disease. This can cause chest pain, heart failure, and heart attack. Set 3. 10 lines on World Heart Day for higher class students. Set 3 is helpful for students of classes 9, 10, 11, 12 and competitive exams. Number 1. World Heart Day is an internationally observable day for everyone. Number 2. International support on World Heart Day proves effective in spreading awareness about cardiovascular disease. Number 3. World Heart Day is a perfect day improving health, making a lifestyle change, quitting smoking, getting exercising, and starting eating healthy. Number 4. World Heart Day gives the idea that the heart is the most important organ of the human body. Don't ignore the sign of any heart disease. Number 5. World Heart Day focuses on heart disease. Most of the premature deaths are due to heart disease. Number 6. By uniting to fight against cardiovascular diseases, we can reduce the disease burden. Number 7. The day includes various events such as webinars on social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Number 8. The World Heart Federation declared that it could observe both on an international and local level. Number 9. World Heart Day act as a reminder or day to take care of our heart. The first celebration of World Heart Day took place on September 24, 2000. World Heart Day has proven an effective method for the distribution of information about cardiovascular disease. It enables all the countries about diseases. Number 10. On this particular occasion, people get aware of their health. They can start an invitation from this day. This is a perfect day to quit smoking, start eating healthy, improve your health, and get exercise. The World Heart Federation noticed that heart diseases are the world leading cause of death.